Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So on this video, I'm going to be breaking down this trade-in store, and I'm also going to be telling you a little bit about the journey that I had to go on earlier today to get myself a 6-star awakening gem. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to be showing the pull or slash pulls, a little bit of a spoil there about how I went about getting the awakening gem that I was hoping to get, and you'll get to see those results as well. So to start off this video, I don't want to get into the breakdown quite yet. I want to kind of tell you about the journey I had to go on in order to get this awakening gem. So as you can see here, the end result is to find, as you can see, the price is not here, but essentially what you needed here was five-star awakening gems of the generic variety. And you know, those things have been handed out fairly readily, so I think I had 3 of them before this even started. So what I needed to do is use some of these lower trade-ins in order to get the ability to get more generic 5-star gems. And the way I was able to do that, as you can see here, was this one, where if you have 3 of one class, you can trade it in to get 1 generic. And I was able to, by going even further down, using these trade-ins of these 4-star ones, of which I had many. You could take 2 of the class 4-star ones to get a single generic 4-star one, which then you could trade up for, where is it? There was a awakening gem crystal somewhere here. So that I was able to do that with my lower ones, so that if you have the generic 4-star ones, you could trade in a few of those to get a 5-star awakening gem crystal. I was able to do that 5 times, open enough of those so that again I could move up and get some generic 5-star gems. Like I said, I did the skill one over here by taking 3 skills and turning it into a generic, and then I was able to get 3 science and turning into a generic, so that therefore I was able to spend 5 generic awakening gems in order to get 1 6-star awakening gem crystal. And then, you know, I did a little bit of fishing around, because with these you could do like a 1-to-1 trade to get a crystal back, but you can only do that once per class. So you'll see my results a little bit later, but I basically kind of passed the thing around until I got hopefully the class that I was looking for. So that was my journey throughout this, and I will say the value is actually pretty bad here, because if you see, you know, in general, a class gem and a generic gem are not equal in value, but having multiple class gems gives you more versatility in your roster. And what I mean by that is I essentially traded the ability to awaken 2 4-star champs away with the chance of just awakening 1 with a generic gem, and then I took that generic gem and I threw it up the chain so that I could get some class 5-star gems, which again, you know, I'm not really ranking and sigging up 5 stars for my account, but it is nice to have the 5-star awakening gems around, because that means you can awaken a character, you can give them sig stones. That means you're going to have more max sig crystals, which means more shards that go up the line. And you know what this ends up being is you're kind of like selling your soul to the devil with your lower tier materials that can help you, you know, just in terms of managing your resources for the future, and you're trying to get this big juicy reward up here. And now for my account, you know, I've recently taken some 5 stars to Sig 200 that I think I could use. Like for example, Wolverine. I've taken Nick Fury to rank 5 recently and given him some Sig stones. So I did feel like, you know, I was okay in terms of like awakenings and using Sig stones on my 5 stars, that I could take a little bit of a hit so that I could get this very, very rare resource of a 6-star awakening gem. But I did feel kind of dirty after the whole thing. Because the other major point here, aside from like the first point I made, which is like screwing yourself by selling all of your lower tier resources that can like add up in the future, the other thing is Kabam has recently told us that they've wanted us to stop hoarding. And, even in this very event, they said we're getting rid of the, seasonal gold boosts because we want to encourage people to be able to open their gold crystals as often as possible. And of course, there was a little debacle with that as well, but maybe we'll save that for a different video. But essentially, they're telling us, we want you to clear up the servers. We want you to be popping crystals. We want you to use the resources that you get when you have them. And if that had held true, and I had actually used all of these 5-star awakening gems, the generic ones and the class ones, I would be in a situation where I didn't have access to this 6-star awakening gem. And I do know a lot of people that did go about that strategy because, like I said, even if you're not going to be utilizing these 5 stars in content, there's always going to be some kind of like rarity gate in the future. It's nice to have them in case they like do something where you need 5 stars. And additionally, getting the SIGs into your 5 stars means more max SIG crystals, means more chances to get 6-star shards, more pulls. You know how this thing works. It's the same reason they tell you not to sell your champions, because those lower tier resources lead to everything: more gold, more ISO, more shards. And especially for someone who's close to free to play or isn't buying a ton of Cavalier crystals, the lower tier resources matter. So the whole premise of this store, even though I was kind of able to game the system, and but I should also say there is a way to game the system even more, which would be to open all of your solo crystal shards to get these lower tier awakening gems, like the 3-star awakening gems, so that you can continue trading up if you don't have enough of the 4 stars. I fortunately didn't have to do that, but I will say that will cripple your chances of getting boosts for war, right? Because what that means is you're actually going to be using these really precious resources that you get from the solo events that for me are the main source of boost for Alliance War when I do the Supreme solo crystals. And you're going to be going for the lower tier ones so that you can get some like 3 and 4-star awakening gems. And then you're also kind of crippling your chance of getting the boost for war. So to me, that's something that I wouldn't have been willing to do, even though I am hearing people doing that. But, looking at my stash here, I've basically decimated my 5 stars in terms of any chance to awaken them in the future. So like, was it worth it? I think it is, because on my account, like the 6-star awakening gems are so rare that figuring out a way to get it was worth it. But I will say, like I said, it did kind of feel a little dirty that I went this route. And I also think this is sort of like sending mixed messages from Kabam, in terms of like what they want us to do. They don't want us to hoard, but the only way that this is possible without like depleting your entire resources is to have hoarded a little bit. And I fortunately had the gems so that I was able to kick them up the chain, but I know other people didn't. And then, let's talk about these SIG stones too. Like, again, I was able to kind of manipulate my account so that I could get 6 of these 6-star signature stone crystals. But in order to do that, I basically got rid of any chance of sigging up my 5-star champions. And for me, these are so rare and so difficult to get in the game that I didn't mind doing that. But when you look at this deal right here, this to me is a huge red flag. Like, don't do this, because you're trading 5 class SIGs for 1 generic. And I'm at least at the point in my account where like generics are very valuable, but not at the expense of giving away 5 signature levels total that could go to another champ of a different class. So like I would be very wary of those. But as you can see, I was able to kind of manipulate this with my 4-star stones so that I could open a bunch of 5-star SIGs. And then I did trade some of these generics for these so that I could put these up the chain and get the 6 stars. But like, again, I really don't feel good about wasting all of these SIGs that I've had just for the chance of getting some SIG stones of the 6-star variety. This is more speaking to the fact that like the 6-star awakening gems and SIGs are still so rare in the game, especially if you don't spend often. So I was willing to make these trades, but I've pretty much decimated any chance to like SIG up any 5 stars because of it. So my wish for this event would be that there was a way to give endgame Thronebreaker type players an equal chance of getting a 6-star awakening gem, and maybe in a way that didn't force you to have to hoard for the past year, or have to like sell your soul in order to get rid of some of your lower materials to get it, and also to have the RNG not be a factor, because I do know some other people who did hoard a little bit, but it was just the combination of awakening gems that they had didn't quite add up to the 6-star awakening gem. So, you know, before you jump on going on a big hunt like I did, I would really encourage you to really think about your account and like, do you still need these 5-star sig stones? Because like, if you do, if your prestige is still based on 5 stars, or like if you have powerful characters that aren't sig 200 yet, this could be really bad for your account. And you know, similar with the Sigstone trade-ins and stuff down the line. So that's kind of my take on this. I don't love it, but it was like, I was tempted enough by this 6-star awakening gem to go for it. And with all that said, I'm going to transition this video now to the opening. So I hope you guys enjoy this opening. Here we go. All right, so now we're on to the opening portion of this. So I'm going to queue up this gem, and you know, the real reason that I'm doing this, I should have said, is for Hercules. I have a generic gem for him, so this is all about cosmic, and I'm pretty much willing to keep trading this thing until I get cosmic. So this is round number 1, and coming around the corner is a science. So now with science, I'm going to take the screenshot here. With science, I have a Mortal Abomination that in the past I was really considering ranking, but I do think that he is quite good unawakened, and at least for the amount that I'm using him, I decided to gamble and go for this cosmic. So I figured as long as I didn't get science again, I can keep kicking this thing down the chain until I get cosmic. I know that's a little bit of a risky maneuver, but you know, as you can see, I'm thinking about this. I'm like, you know what? Screw I-Bomb. We're gonna try to go for Hercules, because if I get Hercules awakened with a cosmic gem, it means I can save the generic gem that I have. And if I can save the generic gem, it means I can awaken someone like Kitty Pryde from the next featured, you know? So this is the way I'm thinking. Let's just pop this one open. Again, hoping for cosmic here. I'm seeing a cosmic. I'm seeing lots of mystic, and doesn't roll over to the cosmic. So now I have mystic, and you know, mystic is a very powerful gem. But I do already have a lot of the mystics, as you can see, like Sorcerer, Symbiote Supreme, Tigra, Doom. And then also Hood is up there as my rank 3s. You know, of the ones down there, I really think Mojo would be the only one, and Hood would be the only 2 that would be deserving of an awakening gem. And you know, as I'm thinking this through, I'm thinking, you know, Hood might actually be a really good idea because he's good at low sig. So now I'm thinking like, okay, I have a free awakening on Hood. I can get this together, have Hood awakened, Sig 1. I'm probably going to be using him in war. And then I was like, you know what though? That's not Hercules though. And I need to get Hercules awakened. And I'd love to save my generic gem. So now I'm like, you know what? YOLO, let's go for this thing. And I think at some point I click on it. But as you can see, I was kind of struggling to make this decision. Do I want to trade in this Mystic? Now I'm like, if I get Mystic or Science again, I'm going to be stuck with whatever it is. But then I'm also like, hey, if I got Mystic or Science, I do have champs I would use it on, so I'm not too disappointed in that either. But yeah, once again, going for Cosmic here. Cosmic would be great. And here we go, rolling around, seeing some Cosmic, some Mutant, some more Cosmic, and it lands on another Mystic. So that is the end of the road for me here. Double Mystic. And, you know, looking at who I'm going to awaken, I'm not going to do it in this video, but I will say I'm about 90% sure this is going to the Hood. And that's because, like I said, he's really good at Sig 1. At Sig 1, he gets the stun immunity, which is just like a turned on ability while he's invisible. And you are invisible for a lot of the fight. And then additionally, every Sig level gives him a better chance to steal power when he's invisible. And the cool thing is at Sig 1, it's at 25% already, which means about once per combo or so, you're going to be stealing a little bit of power. And the cool thing about that is that the max Sig is only 45%. So you never even get to 50, which means to me like 25% right out of the gate makes him a pretty good Sig 1 champion. He's already rank 3, so that's likely who I'm going to use this for. If I do it, I will be doing a rank 3 Hood gameplay once he's awakened. But yeah, that's the end of my journey. Not a huge fan of this trade-in store, but Kabam, you got me. You sucked me in, you made me get this awakening gem, but I'll take it. A more or less free awakening gem, just kind of rip all my 5-star resources, but those come in pretty quickly, so I should be able to replenish those over time. I could always do variant 8 to get another awakening gem as well. So, you know, there are ways to get these back, but here we go. All done, got the Mystic, and that's going to end this video. So thanks for checking this out. Let me know your thoughts about this store. Did you get an awakening gem? How do you feel about the whole thing? And we'll take it from there. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Catch you in the next one. I'm out.